go. The offseason is here. It is here. We got a few days to the draft. Free agency around the corner. You can just feel the tension. You just feel it. Will the Lakers make a big splash? What are next for the Celtics? And are the Rockets serious contenders with Kevin Durant? It's all about to go down right now. It's all about to go down right now. So pay attention. Pay attention. This is the full episode. TAG Live 205. Let's go! NBA all-season is here. It's here. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the 2025 NBA champions, defeating the Pacers in 7 games. Now, I did have the Pacers winning in 7 or 6. I'm sad about the event that happened last night with Tyrese Halliburton's injury going down. We all knew what it was. The moment it happened, it was a torn Achilles. He's going to be out all of next season, just like Jason Tatum and Damian Lillard. It's questionable to have OKC as the champions, especially if you're a Seattle Sonics fan. You have to be 38 hot right now. You must be mad because not only did this team leave you, they left the name, rights, and colors behind. Well, they took the rights and the history, and they just left you guys with the memories because, I thought the Pacers had extra motivation to go out there and win the championship last night due to the buses already being ready, which was NBA. We still got to talk about that because I still feel like it was, fixed a little bit. But we ain't going to talk about that. OKC is your champions. Aside from that, I can now accept the fact that offseason happened. This playoffs happened and Oklahoma City happened, and I don't think they're going to win a championship next year. They're not going to repeat. So we can get that clear the air right now. But the Lakers, the big sale with the Lakers, right? Jeannie Buss selling it to Mark Walter, $10 billion, I believe it was. He's a big CEO guy, owns one of the most richest companies that goes unknown and unseen. I would like to see the Lakers spend a little bit of money now. Barring this sale going through, because we know how the process goes. But it looks like this sale is going to go through. I want to see the Lakers make more moves. I want to see them go get a Mark Williams. I want to see them possibly go get a Clint Capella. I want to go see them go get a big guy. I'm not saying trade up to 8 to get Kamal Maliwatch. I'm not saying trade up in the top 15 and go get a Derek Queen. I'm not saying go get a young guy and Noah Essengay. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that LeBron is going to retire next year. I'm just going to put that out there. I can guarantee he is. He didn't post that retirement teaser for any reason. Year 23, he wears 23. Michael Jordan wears 23. Chasing the shadow. Yeah, you kind of get the gist there, right? I would love to see them go get somebody. I don't know how free agency is going to work. I don't know how much money they got tied up. Are they a second apron team? They're on the cusp of it right now. I think LeBron's going to opt out and he's going to sign that 1-year deal unless he's already on his last year. But with the Rockets, it should scare the Lakers. The Rockets should scare the Lakers if they want to win a championship. Kevin Durant got traded yesterday, as I made a video about it, to the Houston Rockets. The package was Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the number 10 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft in 2 days, and 5 second-round picks. Now, who won this trade? I think the Rockets won. You still have a high-profile player at this current stage of his career, one of, if not the best scorer in NBA history, 7 foot, can dribble the basketball like a guard. Kevin Durant, Slim Reaper, easy money sniper. This brother is amazing. KD 7, KD 35, whatever you want to call him. I think he's going to wear 35. KD 35 is what we know him as. That's what we grew up with him as, and that's we're going to continue to grow up with him. And he's going to retire as KD35. I do think he's going to retire as Houston Rocket. He's back home in Texas, playing for the Texas Longhorns. I mean, could he end his career with the Sonics if they come back in time? I don't know. But nonetheless, that was a great move by the Rockets. You needed somebody to pair alongside. Now you basically told the Rockets fans, Alperen Sengun was and is your franchise player by trading Jalen Green for Kevin Durant. That's what you told us. You kept Jabari Smith. You kept Tari Eason. You kept Reed Sheppard. You kept Cam Whitmore. You kept Ahmed Thompson. You have all these young assets now and young pieces, not to trade, but you have all of these guys that you can maneuver in the rotation. You kept Fred VanVleet, unless you're going to trade him and then start Reed Sheppard or Ahmed Thompson at that point guard, right? You have at your shooting guard. Who's going to play shooting guard? I think the lineup is going to roll something like this. I think the lineup is going to roll Fred VanVleet or Ahmed Thompson. Kevin Durant can probably play the two, or maybe you want to slide Jabari Smith in there. I don't know how they want to do that. I do think it's going to be a Fred VanVleet, Ahmed Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, Ahmed Thompson lineup. I mean, the Alperen Sengun lineup, excuse me. So we're going to go VanVleet, Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, Alperen Sengun. That's who I believe is going to be in this lineup. Now, with that being said from the Rockets side, when I get to the Celtics, the offseason has begun. Finals over with, championship, parade coming up soon. We don't care. The Celtics, second apron team. We know that GMs have been called around. Checking on Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis that we've heard. Derek White has got some calls, right? Even Jaylen Brown has been thrown in trade conversations. Apparently, GMs are calling mammoth offers about him. Now, I do believe it's going to take a haul to get Jaylen Brown out of Boston. I don't think they're going to trade him, though, because he is a cornerstone and the reason why they won that championship last season in the 2024 NBA Finals. Now, I will say, do you really want to build this team younger around Tatum? I think they want to get younger, and this next era of Celtics basketball may have to be played without Jaylen Brown. They might want to explore that. Imagine trading Jaylen Brown for number 2. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just imagine you have Jason Tatum and Dylan Harper, right? Dylan Harper, stop with the James Harden comparisons. He's not James Harden, right? We said the same thing about Markelle Fultz, and you know how to play it out. He's more of a Penny Hardaway-esque in terms of his height. I can't say that Dylan Harper has his own comparison, but if I had to make one, I guess you would say Penny Hardaway a little bit if you see it. I do think that Nolan Traore has more upside than Dylan Harper. I know people are going to say, whoa, you're tripping. If you look at the tape, I think Nolan Traore could be a player in this league. I'm high on Nolan Traore. I'm going to come up with my big board either today or tomorrow. I will be going to the draft party for the Atlanta Hawks. I have my True to Atlanta shirt on. This is from the 2017 NBA playoffs when we faced the Washington Wizards, I believe it was in the first round. No. Yes, it was the Washington Wizards. I will be at the draft party at State Farm Arena for the Hawks. So if you are in Atlanta and you come, don't be afraid to see me. I will be asking questions. I will be free to take pictures. Matter of fact, too, go read my articles. So a little side note here. Tyler A's articles is out, yardbarker.com. You can go look up Tyler Gates Yardbarker or Tyler A. Gates Yardbarker to go read my articles. Thank you so much in advance for the support on those articles. If you just go read those, that'll be greatly appreciated. Now, I will say, speaking of the draft, Cooper Flag we know is going number 1 unless something catastrophic happens. I do think Dylan Harper is going to go number 2. I don't think it's going to be to the Spurs. I'll be surprised. I think Vassell could get traded. I think Sohan could get dealt. I don't think Giannis goes to the Spurs unless a light switch flips. I don't know. I do think Trey Johnson could get a lot of buzz at 3, 4, and 5. I do think that at the end of the day, they're going to look at Trey Johnson versus VJ Edgecombe, and they might go Trey Johnson over Edgecombe. Right now, this is my mock draft right now. I have Cooper Flag number 1. I have Dylan Harper, number 2. I have VJ Edgecombe going 3. He's the most likely linked right now to the Philadelphia 76ers. I also have number 4, Ace Bailey going to the Charlotte Hornets, even though I want him on the Atlanta Hawks. I do think him, LaMelo, and Brandon Miller could make some noise along with T.J. Salon. I don't think Miles Bridges is going to be there. You have Jeremiah Fears right here going to the Jazz. I believe a backcourt of him and Keontae George would work tremendous in Utah. 6, I have Kaman Maliwatch. We heard that Alex Sarr didn't want to play center coming into the league, so why not get him another partner, a.k.a. maybe the Twin Towers in Washington. I like that fit. Trey Johnson in New Orleans, I think this is just the consistent fit at this point. I like Noah Essengate at number 8, like I have to the Brooklyn Nets. I wrote an article about it. Go check that out. I do think he can be a Scottie Pippen light in the NBA, and I do think Brooklyn needs a new franchise player. Whether they're going to re-sign Cam Thomas, trade Nick Claxton, trade Cam Thomas and sign the trade, doesn't matter. Noah Essengate can be your new building block. Carter Bryant at 9 to the Toronto Raptors makes all the sense in the world to me. I'm still confused on why they traded for Brandon Ingram at the deadline, but Masai Ujiri has to make more sense of it, right? And Con Knippel at number 10 for the Houston Rockets. I do believe now they have Kevin Durant, you go get you an extra wing, right? Yes, you have Cam Whitmore. He can play the backup 3, right? But Con Knippel's more of a shooting guard than a small forward. He can back up Ahmed Thompson or whoever plays that shooting guard position. That's my top 10 so far. I will be out with a full mock draft soon, very, very soon, probably in a couple hours from now. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But this draft is going to be similar to 2012 in terms of top talent hype. It's going to be similar to 2003. I'm going to say it. I do think this draft has 96 potential. I do think this draft has somewhat of 96 potential in terms of stars. I know the same thing was said about 2014, the whole Dante Exum mystery. It didn't work out, obviously. Julius Randle, he worked out. You know, Jokic, we didn't even hear of him, and now he's a 3-time MVP. Andrew Wiggins obviously did not live into the hype that he had, but he's still a solid player. Joel Embiid, obviously a solid player. You look at that draft class, and 96 it is. And can we compare any of these guys to 96? Absolutely not. But you look at what the French takeover is. You got Victor Wembanyama. You got Zachary Richarche. You have Alex Sarr. You have T.J. Salon. You're going to have Nolan Traore. You're going to have Noah Essengate. You're going to have all these French prospects coming over, and now the French takeover is almost here. It's almost here, literally. So be on the lookout for this French takeover in a couple of years. I do think that eventually the NBA is going to have to go to a U.S. versus World All-Star game. I do believe that that's going to happen next year, and boy, I can't wait. I really can't wait for 2028. I want to see France versus USA Olympics. I can't wait. But Charlotte is going to have a lot of conversation at number 4, trading down possibly even trying to trade it to number 2. I do see New Orleans trading their pick. I want Atlanta to trade up. I do want the Hawks to think about going to get Ace Bailey, going to get Kaman Maliwatch, going to get a Noah Essengate, going to get a Nolan Traore if he starts to get top 10 buzz. I would Yegor Dimon even, who I think is the perfect fit for the Atlanta Hawks at this point in time. I would even mind Con Knippel, Thomas Sorber. Now, we have 2 picks, but I love these guys. Will Riley is another guy for my Atlanta Hawks who I think could fit this timeline and this team for the future. So all of these things that essentially are going to be a point of emphasis come Wednesday night. We're going to see a lot. I think the top 10 gets shuffled. I do think at least 3 teams trade up, and that's at the max. I do think somebody trades out of the top 10. I do think somebody trades up from within the top 10. But having said that, free agency is coming up too. Don't be surprised if Darius Garland gets moved. Don't be surprised if Jarrett Allen gets moved. Don't be surprised if Brandon Ingram is even tossed in talks, right? You're talking about the Toronto Raptors. First of all, like I said previously, I don't think that the Brandon Ingram situation in Toronto makes plenty of sense. I think that he can get you at least a couple seconds, maybe even a late first. I don't think he fits Toronto's timeline. If I was Masai Ujiri, I think I would flip him. I would flip him. LaMelo Ball, they got to start winning. They got to start winning. I said it in my article. Once again, go read that article. They got to start winning. They got to start winning. There's an article I have. Who's next after Kevin Durant? A couple guys on that list. LaMelo's on that list. Giannis is on that list too. Brandon Ingram, DeMar DeRozan. We're thinking about stars here. I do believe that when time comes down to it, Trae Young's going to stay in Atlanta. Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, and that core forward there in Orlando, we're going to have to get them another role player. I like Gary Trent to the Magic, if they can get him for cheap on a one-year prove-it deal. I like Gary Trent to the Magic. You need more shooting, right? That's why you traded for Desmond Bane. Valanciunas can get you something on the market if you're the Sacramento Kings, right? A veteran that can go win a championship somewhere else. Even Mitchell Robinson could be a guy on the move. Buddy Hield could also not be back for the Warriors. I'm thinking about this from a perspective of, we know the GM's phones are already buzzing. So buckle up, because Atlanta, I'm going to talk about the Hawks before I end this off. Brooklyn, even New York's phone is going to be ringing. I think Brooklyn's going to make the most movement. If I had to predict, I think Brooklyn's going to make the most movement, probably Sacramento. Watch out for a team like OKC, obviously, because they have so many picks. I don't think y'all need to be picking any rookies no time soon. Keep this core together and trade some of those picks for Christ's sake. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yes, we know you guys won the championship. I'm not being a hater, but you get what I mean, right? You get my drift. But I do think the Atlanta Hawks, true to Atlanta, I do think the Atlanta Hawks eventually end up trading up into the top 10. I don't know who for who. I don't know what. But I got a feeling we will trade up in the draft. That is my prediction for the Hawks. We're either going to trade up in the draft for somebody, or we're going to have three predictions. We're going to trade up or trade somebody on the team. We're going to stay pat at 13 and 22 and select best player available, BPA, or we can execute a facilitator trade for a big-time Giannis move, maybe, I don't know, DeMar DeRozan move. We could play facilitator. So, with all that being said, the offseason is here. We are ready. We are willing. We are able to sit down and listen. This is going to be the offseason of all offseasons. This might top 2019. Hands down. So, get ready, because we're on a roller coaster.